Welcome to the Comedy at the Creek podcast, brought to you by Country Creek Reception Hall. Here's your host, Jason Pierpoint. Today's guest is Tylar Seymour from Lansing, Michigan. Sweet. All right.
What's up?
Hey, not much, man. What are you about up to?
Not too much. Just trying to do dates, whatever I can, wherever I can.
Yeah, I was asking you before we got started if you had anything going on. You know, you say you're going out to Crunchies again.
Yeah, I got Crunchies on 27th, Beggars on the 28th, Beggars Banquet. Was in Holland, what's today? Saturday. So Thursday, Paris Lounge.
Yeah,
so,
there was a couple of, we had a couple of alumni from Comedy at the Creek I seen on there. What was Eli was out there with you?
Yeah, Eli went with me, Rio.
Yeah, he's a hoot. I got him coming in April. He's going to do a podcast with me in April for the show. That dude can talk.
Yeah, we're both coming on the year mark. I got mine on March 27th. I don't remember what he said he was, but he killed Holland. I don't want to give it away, but he had this apocalypse joke, dude.
Some new stuff.
He writes cool. Like crazy, dude. He really cranks it out. Like I need to do it a lot more.
Yeah, when I was out at the Weekly Crunch, you guys were hanging out there. I seen him. He was sitting there at the table, sipping on a drink, and had his notepad and was going over stuff. He's like, "Yeah, I just wrote this today."
yeah, dude. He just cranks them out, and surprisingly, they work like most of the time. So he's starting to figure it out. I like it.
Yeah,
it's cool.
So, how do you usually go about writing?
Usually I just like talking to people. Just get kind of like the premise that way, make somebody laugh or do something stupid, make them laugh, write it down, try to see if I can find an angle.
Yeah.
I forget who said it, but it's called rule of fours. So it's like a setup, punch, setup, punch. Do 4 of those, and then run it, and then see which one of them works. Usually I'll keep like one of them. Yeah. And just kind of stash it. Do the next one set up like a next joke set up like that. Usually get like 3 or 4 of them. Now I got these 4 chunks that I know work. So I just got to try to find the connective tissue, run them like that, and that's pretty much how I do it. Just kind of like some crazy off-the-wall concept and just kind of like have them like, what the hell, and just do a left wing, wrap around. I like a lot of wraparounds, bring it back, like me getting molested by Martha Stewart. Talking about she used Reese's Pieces at the end. I got a card. Do you like Reese's Pieces still? Just stupid shit like that.
Yeah, well, that's cool. So that technique, is that like something you like researched on, or was it a book or like a class or something you took, or is that just something you just found and decided to follow that pattern?
It was a YouTube video. It was Ralphie May.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, he had. I think it was called a comedy boot camp or something like that, and like right before I went to the open mic, I just YouTubed all of those I could, stuff like that. And
well, that's not a bad teacher.
Yeah, I know, right? I was like, I love Ralphie.
Yeah, is that one of your? I usually ask everybody. You know, you're a little bit younger than I am. I'm 44, and you said you're
26.
26. So you know, I always try to pick everybody's brain to find out exactly what it was that you were growing up listening to, because it's probably way different than what I grew up listening to. I know I'm sure you're probably a huge fan of some of the older guys, but you know, what are the younger guys listening to? You know, and getting influenced by.
Yeah, I was listening to a lot of Joey Diaz. Yeah, a lot of him. I love him. I think Ralphie was honestly the first one that my dad he kind of put me on to stand up. He was always playing them, but when I got older, I started listening to him. Yeah. I'm trying to remember if the first one was either Ralphie May or Russell Peters. Okay. But I like those guys a lot. I also like Legion of Skanks guys like Louis J. Gomez and Big J. Okerson, Ari Shafir.
Those podcasts are wild, man.
Yeah, I love Shane Gillis, Andrew Schultz, Namish Patel. Okay. I don't know if you guys, Namish Patel is all over TikTok. I don't have TikTok, but if you have him, you've probably seen him before.
Yeah, I don't. Like I said, I'm 44, man. I don't fuck with a lot of. Dude, I don't have TikTok. The only reason I have Instagram and I have all that other shit is for my band. For me personally, dude, I have like one Facebook account. That's it, dude. And the Country Creek Comedy at the Creek Facebook page. So.
Yeah, that's pretty much me. I got an Instagram. I wanted to do sketches, but I'm still trying to figure that out. But that's the goal, to hopefully do sketches and shorts, put them on there.
All right. Yeah. You do. Have you seen they do the? They're doing like improv. Are you into the improv comedy type stuff?
I don't know. Maybe I would check it out. I don't know if I would be. I like the more stand up aspect of it.
Yeah. I see they got out there in Jackson at the. I think it's the Iron Bark Brewing Company. They're doing like Mondays where they're doing improv, and then you can just show up and like do whatever it is that they're working on, you know, and fuck around with them. But I haven't had a chance. I wanted to go out and check it out, but.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about that? Like just kind of like going with like no material and be like, all right, like, or I think they call it like stand up on the spot. Have you seen that? Like do something like that, like Titanic, fucking orangutans.
I think they did that last night. They had like a wheel.
Yeah? Oh,
They like spun a wheel, and then whatever it landed on, it was like St. Patrick's Day, you know, and they had, whatever it landed on, they had to do the skits on that. So it would be interesting. I mean, I guess it depends on how quick you are on the fly.
I was going to say that's going to weed out who thinks if you think you're good or not, man. I was like, ooh, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, no doubt. So how long you been doing comedy, dude?
On the 27th of March, so coming up in a few days will be a year. So
a year, good deal. So what's your been experience with it? I mean, obviously it's something you probably wanted to do for a long time because you jumped into it, and you jumped into it way earlier than I did. So
yeah. No, there was a little while I was writing jokes, like not telling nobody, and then I was like, you know what, let me try this. And then one day, a coworker, she was talking about how there was this comedy club. I was like, what, where? And she was like, oh, it's over in like West Side. It's called Funniest Fun. I'm like, oh, okay. And like a bunch of life shit happened. I was broke. I'm like, look, I don't have a car. I don't have no cash. Please, like, take me to this. Like, it was weird. She's like, finally, like, what the fuck? All right, yeah. So she took me out there, and we're sitting there, and the guy's like, 2 or 3 comics go by. He's like, I don't ever do this, but does somebody want to volunteer? I'm like, oh shit. Shot my hand up, and he's like, have you ever done it? No. Let me try. He's like, okay. Go up there. First joke, horrible. Second joke, terrible. Third joke, got a couple chuckles. Fourth one, like 2 or 3 decent laughs. I'm like, all right, I'll do this. All right, let me try this. So I tried a few more. Ate shit for like 5-6 months, and then like on my birthday, ironically, was the first time like positive reaction. I was like, all right, let's keep doing it.
Hell yeah. That's terrifying as shit, dude.
It really is, dude. Like you feel like your heart's gonna go through your chest. Your legs are all sandy. It's like, oh shit.
I went out there and checked that out before it closed down. My wife and I went out there, and I think they were having open mics on Tuesdays or something like that.
Yeah.
We went out and checked it out, and it was pretty cool. That was what I kept telling her. I'm like, man, one of these days I gotta do this, man. I've always wanted to my whole life, and I just didn't happen to do it that night. But yeah, that place was it was interesting.
Yeah, they brought it, or they took it away for a little while and then brought it back. I don't think they're doing open mics now. I think they're just like headline and showcase sort of stuff. So
yeah. Well, that's cool. Yeah, it's definitely interesting out there for sure, man. I see stuff poking up all the time, you know, here and there. It's just like, okay, which ones should I go do, or which ones should I go do, or you know.
Yeah, I've been to Detroit a lot. Lansing seems like it's kind of scarce for mics. I want to try to get out to Grand Rapids more, Ann Arbor more.
Yeah, I got to go out and do that Sunday Funnies. That was kind of cool. In that big-ass bowling alley, Spectrum or whatever it was out there. That was cool.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that was it's a tiny little room. They have like all these little banquet rooms that are lined up along the bar, and it's like probably 600, 700 square foot or something like that. But the crowd was pretty cool. It was a lot of fun.
Those are always like the best reactions when you can get them like short ceiling, cram them in a small room. But I mean, at the same time, that's a good like energy travel. But when you got like this place, when you have like 300 people, that works too. More
well, speaking
people,
of that, like I said, we're out here at Comedy at the Creek tonight. This is Comedy at the Creek 3. So if you're listening to this, hopefully you can get a chance to make one. We got another one coming up on April 22nd. So if you didn't make it to the first 3, there's your opportunity. But we're sitting here with Tylar Seymour.
Oh, yeah.
Seymour, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. I look at it spelled a little bit different.
Yeah, not what people expect.
I was like, do I say Seymour or do I say Seymour?
You got it right. You got it right.
But, yeah, Tyler was on our first show. And, man, we had a really good time that night. And he was really cool. So I definitely wanted to get him out here for the Comedy at the Creek podcast and talk to him and find out exactly what he's all about.
Yeah, it was very scary because I have a simple method of saying gay and retard a lot. And I had a very LGBT positive table up front, and I was like, oh, they loved it, so it was all cool.
Hey, especially if you're a comedian,
Yeah.
you know, and you're coming out to see comedians, people have got to know by now, based on what's been going on in the big scene, that comedians aren't holding back anymore, man. They're gonna go full bore, and if you don't like it, you know, don't go listen to it. Don't go see it.
Yeah, and for the most part, I haven't really had no bad. Have you had any bad feedback?
I haven't had anything yet. I haven't had anybody say, I mean, my jokes, I've been working on kind of the same jokes, you know, over the past couple of months, because obviously I'm brand new at it. But, you know, as of saying anything, you know, really offensive or bringing anybody up on stage that has been really offensive and people walking out and throwing a fit, I haven't heard of any of it yet.
Pretty sweet.
And I don't want to either. It's like, you know, all the comedians that I've invited to come out here, I basically tell them, I'm like, hey, do whatever it is that you want to do.
Right.
You know, don't hold back at all. You know, if you want to say faggot, you want to say queer, you want to say retard. I mean, say what you want to say.
Yeah.
You know, it's just that's what it's all about. You know, it's the last, you know, frontier of open speech as far as I'm concerned. I mean, you can still do it with music, but I mean, I love all kinds of comedy. You know, except puppets. Ain't time for that shit. I've been trying to get, I was hoping for maybe April. I want to try to get a couple of people to come up here and do some roast comedy to each other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was going to pick, I know there was a Nicole. She's performing tonight, and I think, what is the other comedian that's going to be here tonight? Alexa. I think I've seen her do roast comedy before, so I was going to pick their brains and say, hey, hook me up with some roast comedians to come up here.
Ask, or I'll even suggest him right now, but ask Nicole about Dante Lillard.
Okay.
He's,
Is he like a roast master general from the area?
Yeah, I think he won't disappoint you for that one.
Hell yeah.
Zach Burkar, pretty funny.
Have you ever done anything like that?
No, that's the thing. I don't really see myself as a roaster.
No.
Or nothing like that. I'm just more of I got my written joke. This is what it is. Do you like it? And pretty much goes. I mean, no, I don't really roast, or I'll do crowd work once in a great while, just as like a segue to something written sort of thing, but no.
Yeah. Dude, I made it through public school, dude. Come at me, motherfucker. You can say whatever you want to say to me, dude.
Somebody else did. Yeah, it's just rough. Public school's rough.
I haven't had a chance to see any of that roast comedy yet, but I'm interested in checking all of it out.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Except puppets, nobody got time for that shit.
See, that's how I am with guitar. Every time I see somebody come out with a guitar, it's like,
oh yeah.
Oh man, even big guys like Sandler, I'm like, oh dude, I know you probably have your shit together with this, but
Yeah, I play in a band, so I get enough of guitar, you know. So it's like, all right, I want to do something different, you know.
Yeah, that's a lot. I've noticed a lot of comedy music getting blended.
Yeah. One of the things I couldn't imagine doing is doing comedy before a band.
Oh, man.
That would be a rough thing.
You ever hear of Josh Adam Myers?
I've heard that name, yeah.
He does, I forget what it's called. It's just like, he gets comics and they just sing like a song and they do like karaoke basically. It's pretty cool.
No
pretty
doubt.
Cool little podcast.
You hear horror stories every once in a while from the big comedians that talk about in their early days. They're like, yeah, I had to open for Van Halen. You're like, wait, what?
Oh, shit.
At a festival?
Yeah,
At an outdoor festival?
Yeah, like we were talking about Ralphie May earlier. He was talking about a horror story. He opened up for Sam Kinison.
Oh,
bombed horrifically. Sam was like horrible to him. Like, I was like, oh my God, man. I was like, oh shit, look at him now.
Yeah. Look, good guy.
Oh, look, how he was. R.I.P.
No doubt. But yeah, it's
What about you? What were the guys you were listening to, like when you were 26, or if you were listening to comedy then?
I really liked Christopher Titus. I was a huge Christopher Titus fan. His television show was okay, you know, but his stand-up comedy was really good. And even today, I think some of the stuff he even does today is pretty good. But I'm an old school dude, you know. I like a lot of the, you know, just the usuals. You know, George Carlin was a huge influence on me. Obviously, you know, Richard Pryor and all those guys, you know, that everybody talks about. You know, I like Joe Rogan. I listen to Joe Rogan every day.
Yeah.
You know, Doug Stanhope, yeah, guys like that. I'm a huge fan of Kill Tony.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm a Kill Tony every Tuesday. That's where I'm at on the phone at work. You know, I'm listening to Kill Tony all day. I look forward to it. You know,
There's I don't want to throw it out and have it not happen, but in a couple months, me and a couple other people are hopefully, fingers crossed, trying to get out there to Austin and try to do it. Hopefully.
hell
Hope so.
yeah, that would be a good time. Yeah, my wife and I were planning a trip to go out there soon. I don't know if it's gonna happen now because she's got some back problems, but yeah, I definitely want to get out there here pretty soon.
Oh yeah.
I actually have to jump in the car tomorrow morning at 3 a.m. and drive to North Carolina. That's gonna be fun.
Oh man.
But yeah, so definitely want to get out there and do some traveling. Have you done any comedy outside of Michigan, or are you just kind of been roaming around here?
Once, actually, well, I guess you could say twice. Toledo Funny Bone.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that was an unpaid. It was a open mic spot, but still, it was like a 10-minute. It was pretty fun, packed out. It was kind of scary.
Yeah,
Kind of scary at first. I was like, oh, this place is official. All right, they had a green room and everything. I was like, oh yeah, you guys are. You're real. Okay.
Yeah, there's some of the big ones that are around here. I know the Detroit House of Comedy. I know that's a pretty big comedy spot that I see a lot of
Comedy
headlining.
Castle.
Oh yeah, Ridley's. Yeah, a lot of the. When I set up for these shows, I always take all the comedians' information. I put them on my cue cards so that I can shuffle them up and for the lineup and whatnot. So when I'm going through all their Facebook pages and stuff to try to find where it was that they played, it's a lot of that. Ridley's Comedy Castle, and the other ones open one night stands.
Oh,
I see a lot.
Yeah, no, just recently started posting all the dates and all that stuff, so should be doing it more. But yeah.
So when you meet people, at open mics and stuff like that, have you gotten gigs that way just by talking to people?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I said, I started at Funny is Funny, and I met this dude, Damian Gonzalez. He pretty much helped me kickstart comedy because he was letting me go out to Detroit with him. We were out there 2-3 days a week, Hamtramck and all of them hitting Ratchet Pub, Trixie's, New Wave, Parts and Labor, just all them.
There's a ton of them out there. I was actually really surprised once I started getting into this. I'm like, God, every little bar and grill between here and Gibraltar has got some sort of open mic or, some comedy night going on. And then I got the crash course in, when I started putting these shows together, I got the crash course in, the difference between, what an open mic is, what a showcase is, and what a headlining gig is, with features and all that kind of stuff. And people are like, as soon as they found out, they're like, oh, you're charging a couple bucks at the door? And I'm like, well, yeah, I got to pay for the venue. They're like, well, that's a showcase and we want to get paid.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, shit, really?
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, all right.
But definitely, for sure, yeah, just talk to people, meet the people. What you don't see on Michigan Comic Network, they'll fill you in oh, this one just started down the street. Oh, this one's around the corner from here. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been getting into a lot of those different social media accounts and stuff. I try to add them every time I see them flow through, but it seems like every day there's just something new pops up, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I try to peek ahead when I can think about it. Try to find any new spots or whatever.
Yeah. Got any dream spots you want to go do? Dream stages you want to get out to? Aside from obviously the Austin stuff, because that's
Austin,
everybody wants to get out there right now.
I would say that seems like the new mecca. I was gonna say Joe Rogan's club headline that would be the dream, but that's out in Austin. Spend some time in New York. That would be cool. I think somewhere in New York, either Gotham or Fat Black Pussycat or Comedy Cellar, something like that.
Yeah,
that'd be really cool.
There's still a lot of famous places out there. That's for sure. Yeah, I think I was talking to a friend of mine the other day that he does a lot of traveling. He's like an open road trucker, and he was like, yeah, I try to, when I stay in different cities, he's a huge comedy fan too, and he was like, the pandemic killed some comedy clubs, man. A lot of the stuff I really used to enjoy going to, he says, they're gone now, dude. And I'm like, that sucks.
And that's the thing, is how we said, it's scarce around Lansing right now. I guess back before COVID, there was not Max, there was the Loft. There was can't remember off the top of my head, but I guess there was 3 or 4 spots that just COVID took down that left mics with 2.
Yeah, I know. Was it Trippers or something like that had some open mics for a while, or stage they were doing? Have you done any of the? Obviously, you've been out to East Lansing a few times. Have you done a lot of open mics out there in East Lansing with the college students and gotten any slack for being a little spicy?
No, and that's what I've noticed, do you feel like you have a demographic? Because I feel like that's my crowd. Like, I can get them going the best because I maybe just being 26.
Yeah.
But, like, I had a decent time last time I was here. I feel like it was a good reaction, but it was like there was more married crowds and there was more, like, middle-aged pause, have to think about what I'm saying, get the joke, where the college kids like, oh, you're stupid.
Yeah, it's obviously when I started this, you know, I'm 44, like I said, so you know the people that I was reaching out to was like, hey, you know, come
like
check out some
couples.
and that's where my jokes come from. You know, for Christ's sake, and you know, my jokes are about being married and having diabetes, for God's sakes. I mean, you're about as far from that as it can be. But that was what I wanted, though.
Right,
I wanted all that different, you know, style coming in here. So it was really cool getting a lot of different styles of comedy and just shock people. You know, I get a kick out of it. I sit over there and watch these old fuckers sitting up front, you know, and somebody like you comes at them and they're like, whoa, wait, what?
Expecting Seinfeld talking about Pop-Tarts and fluffy T-shirts.
Yeah, I think there was a clean comedy club at a church or something down in Lansing. That'd be interesting.
That would be very interesting.
Swing by there and see if you can get thrown out of a basement of a church.
Oh no, I could throw some Jesus related material, but I don't know if they'd stand for it.
So have you got a chance to see any of those comedians that you've always looked up to?
Yeah, right around this time last year, we went and saw me, my cousin, and a coworker saw Big J. Okerson, Ari Shaffir, and Robert Kelly.
Ari Shaffir
in Grand Rapids. Oh, that was pretty sweet. I actually met Art. Well, they came into the bar that we were eating and drinking at after the show, and they all sat down, but they kind of like snuck in. But somebody, like after a second, they realized who they were, and everybody's like, "Oh shit!" So I'm like, everybody's going to like bombard them. I'll just sit here. I looked over, I was like, nobody's really talking to them. I was like, all right, let me go over and say something. So as I'm walking out, the waitress comes out of the kitchen, like same pace as me, walking up with their food right as I'm like, oh man. So I see them. I like whatever. I'll just go to the bathroom, wash my hands, come back. And I was like, hey, man, because Ari's like right on the table, at the edge of the table. And hey, man, you guys had a great show. You killed it. Just keep doing, like, nice to meet you. And he's like, oh, no. Like, he put his food down and all that. He's like, oh, no, like, what's your name? I was like, oh, shit. So Ari Shaffir, cool as hell.
That's cool, man.
Big J.
That's always a gray area, you know, when you meet people like that. You're just like, all right. Because you always hear the stories. They're like, oh, well, I was walking through the airport. Some asshole came up, shoved a phone in my face. And you're like, oh, I don't want to be that guy that you're talking about later on.
Oh, no, all those three guys are at least, they were exactly who they were on stage or in podcast. They were like, Ari was like, oh, what's up, man? Like, Big J was killing this big-ass burger. So I was like, Robert Kelly didn't give two fucks. I was standing there.
Well, you know, yeah, give them some credit. You know, they're doing what they want to do for a living. So, you know, you can't be too fucking stressed out when you're living your dream.
Oh, yeah, definitely who they portray. So
Yeah. I've been around a lot of musicians. You know, I've been a musician for 25 years. I've been around a lot of musicians and met some big wigs. And some of them are cool and some of them are just plain out fucking assholes.
Yeah.
You know, so you get the idea of who's who after a while. And you're just like, all right, I'll steer clear of that fucking jackass.
Yeah. That's what I hear about. I don't hear more of that. I just hear more like crazy like stories like Garth Brooks. I hear is like off his fucking rocker.
Really?
Like, yeah, like just people like that. I was like, oh shit, okay.
Garth Brooks. So who else you want to go check out live?
Who else would be cool? Like I said, the Skanks would be pretty cool. Louis J.
Where do they do Skank Fest? Is that in California or they do that in New York?
They switch it up all over. The last one was in Vegas. They just had a couple months ago. But they usually do the podcast out of New York. But I think they just spread them all over.
Imagine what kind of party that would be.
Oh my God! Either that or Kill Tony. I'm definitely there.
I know they're talking about. I think the last time I listened, they said there was like 150 people that threw their name in the hat for that, and I'm like, God, if you're taking a trip out there, man, you're going to be a lucky motherfucker if they pull your name out of the hat. Just being there for, I mean, what are you going to be there for? Maybe 2 Mondays if you're lucky.
Right.
You know, if you have a long trip.
I was going to say, I've never done a lottery spot, but Kill Tony definitely there for that one.
Because you hear people, they're like, when did you get here? Well, I flew in today.
Oh,
and you got your name drawn out today, you lucky bastard.
Oh, yeah. I guess, yeah. They come in like a couple times. I hear people like bring out like crowds of friends and write multiple names, like write my name like 5 times, throw them in there. It's like, oh, you dirty bastard.
Well, I see they're doing it at Joe's at Mothership now. I think they jumped ship over there at Vulcan Gas Company. I think they're doing it over at the mothership now. So it'll be interesting when those episodes start rolling out and see how if it's changed any at all. I doubt it has, but you never know.
Yeah, Dan Soder would be pretty cool. Go see him. Oh yeah, Shane Gillis would be pretty cool. Go see him. I feel like he would tear it down.
I've been doing a little bit of research, finding out how we can get some, little, better comedians in here, like hired, national touring comedians in here for like separate nights just to do like into special engagements and stuff like that. But
I was surprised. A lot of them, dude, if you just go on like their Twitters or Facebooks, they have like booking stuff. You could like talk to like their manager or whatever.
I've gotten a hold of a few of them, dude. I tell you what, man, if you ever get to that point, man,
some crazy numbers,
dude,
come
it's
out.
insane. I mean, I've had $6,000 for one night plus hotel room plus transportation plus hospitality, whatever the fuck hospitality means. I don't know if that's a fucking meat tray and a bunch of liquor.
In the room, motherfucker. Room service.
Bring me 10 hookers and a meat tray.
Oh,
I've had $8,000 thrown at me for one night, dude, and I'm like, holy shit. So yeah, I'm still looking. I'm gonna try to find some national headliners to come in, but I want to get the right ones.
Yeah, right one, right price. I can see that.
Yeah. How do you get some weird ass puppet act or something? I keep going after the puppets. Sorry. But we've had a lot of fun here so far, man. It's been pretty cool. Hopefully this podcast will get out, and you're gonna be here next. Comedy at the Creek, aren't you?
April 22nd.
I got them coming back, man. I wanted to go for a little while before I start bringing people back, but I figured, you know what? There's certain guys that I really like, so I wanted them to definitely come back. So it'll be cool to have you back. You got some new stuff you're gonna bring to the table?
Yeah, working on it, trying to polish it up and get it out there. See if I can get some new ones for you.
Hell yeah, that's what I got to do too, man. Is start working on a little more stuff. It's weird, you write so much shit down. Like I write everything long form. So it's basically just like I'm sitting there talking to myself and just writing to myself. It doesn't even have any sort of joke structure or whatever. I'll just go through and pick little things out of it.
Yeah.
And a lot of it just gets thrown away. So then I'm like sitting there with a pet, the
it
same
really
5
does.
minutes forever.
You can write all day and you're going, yeah, exactly, dude. So much of it gets thrown away. Is kind of, and sometimes I think like, well, maybe there was an angle or something. Yeah. Every now and then I'll go back and listen to like tapes from like months ago and be like, was there some premise there maybe I could take now or something like that? And that's one thing I've noticed is that there's a lot of people in the stand-up open mic that just kind of write a joke, and if it don't work, they just try with the next. They don't really like tweak or record or pick it apart or try. I was like, I don't know how you do that, man.
Well, you gotta hone that, you just keep honing that, same. That's kind of the way that I've been working with it. I'm like, I just want to keep honing this. I like these 2 jokes that I got right now, and if I can just get them perfectly and put them in stone, and then I'll have those on the back burner and I can move forward. But it's scary moving forward too, because you're like, okay, I think what I already wrote's funny. Is the next shit I'm gonna write gonna be funny, or is it gonna suck, or what?
Yeah, and that's the thing is that you said, is it gonna be funny or is it not? It's like I have a tendency to fall in love with ideas, even though they don't work, and try multiple angles and not knowing the throw. It's like, all right, dude, it's time to throw it out. You tried, you rang it out. It's not there.
I'm getting a little bit better at shortening shit down, because the first couple of things I started writing, they were just drawn out forever. Yeah. And even my son told me one time, he came and seen me one of my first shows. He's like, dude, you got to cut that shit down, dude. He's like, how the fuck could you talk about Family Dollar for so fucking long? And
Definitely
I'm like, I don't know, because there's a lot of shit at Family Dollar that drives me nuts.
I guess that's kind of where I relate back to that rule of 4s. It's just like set up, punch, try to. Like I'll do the same thing long written like you did, and then just whack it down.
I guess that's just the way you'd have to do it, If it don't work, throw it away. Just
trial
keep
and error.
rolling through it. Yeah.
This stuff is like 45% trial and error, honestly.
And it's just like you were saying earlier, you have all those different people in the crowd. This side of the room might laugh at you, and that side of the room might be going, I don't get that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like you write a joke, dude. Run it like 6-7 times. Don't ever let one reaction like dictate that. Like you gotta, like you said, like they might hate it. They might love it. You go to the next room next night, everybody's dying. You just gotta do it.
When I went out to Grand Rapids when I first came out, I was throwing an Amway joke at them, and they're all just it was just dead. First thing I came out and did was just threw something out there just that I wrote on the way there because I was trying to do like some location shit.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought, all right, maybe they'll laugh at some sort of pyramid scheme Amway shit. Not a fucking chuckle, man. I was like, all right, well, I guess we're not doing jokes about that.
Oh, back to Eli Klinger, dude, when he went out to Holland with us 2 days ago. Balls of steel. He brought out the MSU shooter joke.
Oh, I was wondering when it was.
Holland, they were like, they went crazy. They loved it, but they were all like, oh, shit, because we told them that we came from Lansing, hoping we can get some like extra time or weasel whatever we could get out of them being from Lansing. But yeah, he brought it out and it worked.
Oh, I'll have to check that out next time. I was wondering when the first one was gonna come flying out of somebody. I was like,
me too. I'm just looking like, who's it gonna be, dude? Like, which one of you?
No shit.
About 2 or 3 weeks after it happened, I was at Beggars, and I was kind of irritated because the management was like, hey, you guys know school shooter jokes, no MSU jokes about what happened. And I'm like, okay, I get where you're coming from, but at the same time, like you said, we're comics and we have like we're against it right now, like speech, freedom of speech and political correctness and all that. It's like we're not shitty people, so if we really were, a lot of us are like locals and went to MSU. I didn't go to MSU, but like a lot of us went to MSU. It's like we're not gonna be pieces of shit about it. If we're gonna do it, we're gonna try to give some taste, some actual humor. We're not just gonna.
Well, I think that's where the big divide is I think there's so many people out there right now that just have no fucking sense of humor whatsoever. Because everybody knows what it's like when you're being authentically an asshole about something and when you're joking about something. And there's a lot of people that can't figure that out, man, and that's just sad.
I think, there's a lot of that, and I think it also some people just get too in their own head, in their own world, and you say a topic or say shit on something about something somebody might have, and they have it like, oh, you think you're talking about them. It's like, no, dude, it's like snap out of it. It's not everything's about you. It's not. I don't know, that's I think a lot of it too. It's like I relate to that. Oh, I have my aunts has that disease. What are you talking about? Like, stop.
I've seen people get there's been a couple of open mics I've been to where there's been people that are like disabled that are up there performing. And people were getting mad at them because they were making jokes about their disablement. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
How can you do that?
Yeah, dude.
They're comedians standing up there talking about themselves, and you're getting mad about it?
Yeah. I've had I think we're referring to the same person. Like, I've had a joke about, like, disabled people. And somebody came up to me after because a part of the line was, I can't talk, as in saying that I'm just as bad. And he took it as I can't talk, like, oh, I can't talk, I can't finish this joke, this guy's here and he's disabled. It's like, no, I'm not gonna bail on that. Bailing's the worst thing you can do in a joke. Yeah,
for sure. Just hold your own, man.
Yeah.
But all right, well, it's cool talking to you, dude. I think we're going to wrap it up and get the show started. Like I said, we're out here live at Comedy at the Creek 3. You know, we got Tyler Seymour here, who's going to be here on April 22nd, so make sure you come out and check out the show. Remind us again what you got going on. You said you're going to be in East Lansing?
Not too many dates going on recently. Upcoming, I got March 27th. That's a Monday. That's going to be at Crunchy's Bar and Grill.
Okay.
Right around the corner that coming Thursday, the 30th, Beggar's Banquet.
Okay. Well, let's change that, man. If you hear this and you want to go check out Tyler, make sure you get a hold of him. How can people get a hold of you? You got all the socials?
Instagram, Facebook. Facebook is better. But like I said, Instagram is going to be for shorts coming soon. Shorts and skits.
Getting into some of that, huh?
Yeah, that's the goal.
Well, cool. Well, good luck, man, and thank you very much for coming and talking to us, dude. We really enjoyed
thanks
it.
for having me, dude.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Hell yeah, you got some killers tonight, so I look forward to it.
Yeah, if you're not,